still having a problem getting out.
Was he?
Yes. I'm not sure what to do here.
It's a difficult one, but it's not something we can really hold the...
I know.
The stream for.
It might be you might have to miss out.
You're getting a bit of abuse in the chat there. We've got no watchers but one comment, which is a bit odd. Should you be watching it to comment? We are live from the Red Bull Ring in Austria. I'd ask Ash for a Red Bull Ring fact, but last time he told us he didn't have any, and then spilled off the whole history of the manufacturing stipulations of the tarmac. So we'll maybe get onto some Red Bull Ring stats a little bit later on in the race. We've just got an issue with one driver not being able to get out of the pits at the moment. We've got Dunk playing Danger Ring, going backwards around the track.
I'm just going to try another practice start. Hopefully it might be fine.
Has he cleared his cache data as well? That's the only other thing.
Yeah. I've got them both to do it.
So we'll just do a bit of running around, then we're waiting for the practice start, see if we can get paid to out the pits. Just on board with Mick Howe from Rod and Pollux at the moment, just coming up to turn 1. And we'll start the debate in a second as we approach this, just coming through turn 1 onto the straight, as to whether people class this as turn 2 or turn 3, the right hander at the top. It's actually turn 3 unless you're a bit of a mong. There was a big crash there in MotoGP earlier on in the season, if anyone watched it, where two guys very, very lucky not to get killed, if I'm honest. So that's turn 3. Mick's just gone round, he's approaching downhill into turn 4. He's got Jardy Boy behind him at the moment. The laps will get faster than this. I know in the practice room before, and people were doing sort of high 28s and into the 29s. So it's just whether they can start and keep that going through a whole stint. So we're just going to go for a second practice start to see if we can help this driver get out of the pits this time. Jardy Boy's just gone off in the background. A little bit spinny. Just going to run out before Mick completes his lap there, but he was purple. Would have put him probably on a mid 130. So again, second practice start, so we're out with Mick at the moment. We've got, I'm sure this is in the Weird TV with her at the moment. He's out, Smalley's out, Fuller is out, Nils, Weird TV, D Roberts, Hayder, Multi, Jardy Boy, Bua. No, we've got another one just trying to kill his pit crew at the moment. Pit Lane Donuts. So that's another driver in that start that we couldn't get out of the pits. So I think if we go through this again, unfortunately, we're just going to have to run with the stream. It's unfortunate. It's a game bug that's
try grid practice start.
Yeah, not
once everyone's. I'm just going to try grid practice start.
Okay. Just waiting for Weird TV to quit. Just drop him a little message here, see if we can. Mick suggesting changing the track and then back. Or we'll just change the track. Let's go to Autopolis, being one of Ash's favourites. It's an interesting track. This one on the other hand, I'm not quite sure on the Red Bull Ring. It's a bit of a nothing track for me. There's no real defining feature. It's got the two very, very hard right-handers, and the rest of it's just a bit glued together. It's there should be some good racing tonight. It's quite tight. There's not a vast amount of overtaking spaces. You've got down into the two tight rights, let's say turn 1 and turn 3, possibly down into turn 4, and that's really your main overtaking places here, unless you can get past on one of the straights.
I'm just going to try resetting the track now. Right.
So we're going to go to Northern Ireland Speedway.
For literally 10 seconds.
Let's do an oval.
Danger oval.
Danger oval. Mr. Robot, if he's watching, will like Danger Oval.
What is Danger Oval, by the way?
What is Danger Oval? Right, you have a full room. It was one that we came up with on a very drunken Friday night. You have a full room drivers and 15 driving one way and one person going the other on a 50-lap race on the oval. And it's basically the first person to cross the lap, and the idea of the ball is to try and hit as many people going the wrong way as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And that is Danger Oval.
Is that it? That's very simple. Right,
simple things for simple people.
Especially when you've got the likes of a certain Mr. Small. Right, I'm just going to try this practice start now.
So this is the third and final practice start. I think if we struggle with this one, we're just going to have to run with the race. We'll see if we can get some more watches in here. It was a bit shy on watches the weekend. Danger Oval. You
person.
I think he's suggesting we're in a division there. You go to same school as Kyle.
And of course, it's two people's birthday today, isn't it?
I have a funny feeling it's going to be mine.
Well, you're one of them, yes.
Yeah. And also, the other person whose birthday is today is Lord Othered River of Birmingham. I don't know if he's going to be watching. Hopefully watch this back later. Happy birthday, Kyle. Hope you enjoyed all your random gifts from all your random people. It's been a comedy show this week, trying to send stuff discreetly. So hope you've had a good day. Hope your wheel gets fixed as well. I know you was having some issues with your Fanatec setup. So if Fanatec want to send Kyle a free Club Sport setup with V3 pedals, shifter and handbrake as a birthday present for the fact that his current one is failing, I'm sure I'd be very much appreciative. Oh, my TV's about to turn itself off. There you go. Smalley's going to call me Specky because I still haven't
sorted that out. That's not a good sign.
No, I've done it. I've reached around the back. So I'm going to get. We'll run social media corner tonight as well, just see if we can keep a track on the comments. I know I've not got very many watchers, but we'll see who's in there with us. We are live. 3 people watching currently. Rogue Airsoft, that is Benjamin. Ben has a good run tonight. He had a great run at Spa, I believe. Podiumed there. So a good result for Ben. We'll just say Ben's out on track. Here we go. He's out in 3rd at the moment. Good driver, Ben, on his day. He said, I know he's just making the transition to a new wheel, which is going to take him a bit of time to get used to. So he may well still be back on pad tonight, but good driver. He should be
they're just the
mid.
Those two are just leaving and re-entering, I think.
Okay. So we'll see who else. We've only got 4 drivers out on track at the moment. D Roberts is a new driver from a new team in the Beginners Cup. It's the DWT Junior team, and I think we've actually got Tracy in with us tonight. He might be able to tell us a little bit more about how that team's put together. Great liveries. I like the one on these, and the one they ran at the weekend for Remembrance Sunday was fantastic as well.
Brilliant, yeah. Touch of class there, as Ash puts it.
Yeah, and he was brilliant. It was great to see a little bit of support there for the fallen as well. So this is the first race you've had with your junior team in the Beginners' Cup tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Go on, sorry.
Is it drivers you know, or have you done any sort of like selection for it to see who you're going to pick in?
Yeah. So the idea is to try and find the best possible drivers to feed into the main BWT racing team. So I just put out the feelers on all the different forums, like Gran Turismo Worldwide is one, and then there's a UK one I think that some of the OFR guys are a part of.
Yep.
So loads of people replied, and I held a couple of test races at Austria, and the two that really stuck out for myself were Hader, H. Adams, and D. Roberts as well, the two guys that are in the RP racing cars. And they're solid, really, really fast. Out of all of them that I tested, I think there's around 16 drivers that I tested. These two really stuck out. So, I've got a lot of faith in them. They've got decent objectives set. The idea is, don't stress over a win or pole position, just top 5 finishes, plenty of points. That's what we're looking for the first race.
I think that's sensible, even for going out through the season as well. It's I've always been a big believer in fast over one lap doesn't necessarily win a race.
Yeah.
If you pick up steady, consistent points week in, week out, rather than have the odd top result and then be off at the next round, it's going to be better for a team championship, and certainly when you're fighting for it. If they're just starting to be, I don't know if they've done much in the way of competitive racing leading up to this, but this is their first sort of foray into championship racing, the best thing is to do is just aim for your top 5, and then just aim for just to nibble away at the back end of that podium fight week in, week out, and then you'll find you're pushing yourself into that group on a week by week basis.
Yeah, 100%. Damo Roberts is he's one of league racers for another league, so he has some familiarity with Discord and like league racing in general. And Hader is our Polish driver. He's a barista from Poland, makes a cracking cup of coffee.
Awesome, he can send us one over. We'll accept bribes of caffeine.
Absolutely. But he's on a pad, but he's extremely fast. They're both looking to get new setups, new wheel setups and proper rig setups. So, and both of them as well. I mean, one of the main things was, well, if you're available to race on the Wednesday and you're any good, then there's a chance for you to be reserve drivers in the Sunday races and eventually get a seat in the main GT team. So they're both available on Sundays as well. So they've got a good opportunity to get into the main team.
I think I was just going to say, just to what you were saying there about a fastest over one lap isn't necessarily the best. I think I haven't commentated on the race on Sunday. Sean, when I was watching, was incredibly consistent. Because over one lap, I mean, Tay got the fastest lap, of course, but Sean was more consistent over a race run, and that's what I believe got him the victory on Sunday.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean,
that's just from me watching, of course, from my point of view.
Yeah, definitely. Sean's got a knack with setting up the cars, and I mean, even when we were in the Formula One league together, when we did our own league, he's just very quick. It's really frustrating as well because he was my teammate in the league, and no matter how hard you practice, Sean always seems to pip you. Yeah, and he's just proven in the races. I mean, the endurance race, he smashed it, and in the GT race, 2 wins in a row.
Ash and I've raced with Sean herself. He joined us on a GTS league, and I agree with you. He said that same sort of consistency. I had a good battle with him for a short time at Kyoto a few weeks ago, and I know we struggled with setup round there. I think the Nissan is a very, very fast car. It's a car that if it's not quite there, it's very, very unforgiving. And I think he did struggle up there, but he showed his pace, and it'd be good to have that development team with what you're trying to do with the RP squad to bring the drivers through.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, with Sean's knowledge that he's got on the setup of the cars and his pace, starting from the next race, Sean's actually heading up as team principal for RP Racing, so he will be taking control of this team from the next race.
Right.
It'll be able to develop the drivers advice-wise, setting up the cars, showing them. I mean, he's the fastest driver out of all of our teams at the moment, so I'm relying on him to be able to show the boys how to do things, how to get a few more tenths per second.
I think it's good. I mean, I've done a lot of work with Smalley and Fuller, or Dunk is in this race as well. We raced with them on a Friday night, and when they moved into this, I know some of the other R&P guys have taken the R&P team under their wing a little bit more, but I've just looked after these two, and it's just, I'm not ultimately as fast as guys like Sean, but I think when you know a little bit about car setup and lines and the trail braking issues and stuff like, you can just start to just add a little bit of advice in each time, just so they can pick up, like I say, a tenth, 2 or 3 tenths a lap. But if they can get that consistency, it's better for them in the long run. And that, I think, is the biggest thing that drivers just coming into it need to learn. Is just not necessarily I can go out and set 1 fast lap and then 5 slow ones. If you can set your best lap and stay within 3 or 4 tenths of that every single lap through your stint, then you're gonna pick up places.
Absolutely.
And I think Ed knows me really, really well from the amount of races we had together. I'll be the very first to admit that me personally, I'm not a one lap. I'm not an ultimate 1 lap man, but race pace is probably where my strength is, and that ultimately, you know, you've got different drivers with different skill sets.
So just going to have a quick run down the field while we're starting now. We've got 2 guys that know each other quite well on and off the track. Smalley, well, we've got a train actually at the front. Smalley, Mick and Si out front with Ben just off the back. We'll just see what sort of lap times we're setting on our first fly. Obviously Smalley's in the lead in the title at the moment. I think he's only got a 2-point lead now over Weird TV, which is going to make an epic fight towards the end of the season. He's with 2. Sorry, I'm telling a lie. He's 22 points over Nils. I know Weird TV hasn't done all the rounds so far, so he's going to tighten up at the top there. Hayder, like you say, Tracy, set a good opening lap, a good banker lap there at 29.9. I know they will get faster than that as the race goes on. It looks like he's already come in for a set of boots, unless that 29.9 is a practice lap.
Yeah, he's under instructions to come in for a fresh set of tyres after the first banker lap and just push hard. I've said to them anyway that, you know, the target for today is top 5 finish, qualified top 5, and if they can both come away accumulative with 10 points between them, I'd be very happy with that. But
yeah,
they look like they're going to smash the objective straight away. So it's early days yet, it's early quali, but I think I've got a lot of faith in them.
Certainly showing that look like there's going to be a stronger, not say stronger, that's probably a bit disrespectful, a bigger podium battle this week. It's sometimes been in the previous beginner cup races. You've had the fastest sort of like 3 or 4 are out there week in, week out. You could be moving into a very fast and competitive 6 or 7 drivers now, which is going to be great for a championship and great for people watching.
I mean, the fact of the matter is as well that, you know, the Beginners Cup at the start of the year only had about 6 or 7 drivers in. Tonight we've got 12. That's the biggest field so far. One
of your drivers there, D Roberts, just pulling off at turn 9, or I said turn 10 officially, just to give himself a bit of free air as well, which is good, because obviously trying to set a lap on your own time, on your own pace is a better way to do it. It's going to be more realistic, and you're not going to get caught out by a little bit of slipstream or someone braking early. It's going to ruin a lap and ruin a decent qualifying as well.
Yeah, he's relying on his experience here. I mean, we've got a header who's ridiculously fast out of the pair of them, but then you've got equally D Roberts has got that experience and knowledge already of racing, so he knows what he needs to do to make the race comfortable for himself.
Little bit of a bum shake out of turn 3 there as he heads back down to turn 4, but it's difficult. It's a difficult corner as you come through that. I personally think it's harder than turn 1. So we've got Weird TV set the first fast lap in qualifying. He's now just in front of one of your drivers with by 100th, but he has gone half a second quicker in sector 2. So they're just approaching the drop down to turn 9. He's got a good slipstream from Sai here, so it depends whether he can get past or whether he's going to get held up.
Fact of the matter is, as well, so far for qualifying, I've just wanted to have a quick check. There's only half a second covering first to 6th.
That's brilliant.
That's very competitive.
Weird TV's just dived in for a set of boots, so we'll jump on with Hader here. We'll give him a bit of airtime, see how he's getting on. As he again is just approaching the back end of the lap here.
Yeah, I was watching the stream last week just to sort of get a feel for the championship and who's involved, and they are cracking drivers. They're really close races. Yep. Doesn't seem to be very much between them all, really. So
there you go. He's smashed your target at 29.5. I think they were all doing faster than that. They're probably all doing 28s again. But qualifying's always a little bit different. It's not always the speed in qualifying that you get during the race as well, because obviously there's a little bit more pressure. You tend to push for lap times. You have a tendency just to maybe get a little bit front end push and go a little bit wide on a couple of corners and cost yourself a little bit of time. Then during the race, when you've settled into it, you've took that breath, you tend to just relax and the lap time comes to you a little bit more. But we're on with Smalley at the minute now. He's now 7/10 off pole. Again, Smalley's going to be in that podium fight, we'll fully expect today. He's in the AMG, the same as your top guys. It's not convinced it's necessarily the fastest car around here, but it's very balanced. It doesn't really do anything. Well, Smalley's dived in the pits as well, so we're not going to see anybody complete a full lap. The AMG is a very balanced car as well. It doesn't really throw anything out unusual. Nils is just coming down. Hopefully we'll catch someone complete a lap now. Nils is second in the championship at the moment.
That was close.
He's tucked up right behind your driver D Roberts at the moment as they're coming onto the straight. She's going to have a good slipstream here, and I think maybe just enough of a gap that he's going to get a little bit of snip effect. There goes Nils with a 29.5. He's just going to get the slipstream here, but I don't think he's close enough to really make a pass on the lap, so it might be, and he might be able to utilise this position for his best. But you've also got your drivers now right tucked up behind Mr. Fuller, who's just very nicely pulled out of the way to let him through and then dive straight back in behind him. Oh, Nils just tapped him there.
Meanwhile, I was just watching the other newcomer as well, Bow APD. He's a very late entry. He only came in about 4:30 this afternoon. But it's nice to have a teammate for Weird TV as well now.
Yeah.
And he's showing competitiveness. He's up in the top 10. That's a good start.
He has. 8th is like I say, he's in front of some decent lads. I mean, Ben's in 9th there. Hayes is a podium finisher. Cy Fuller and Dunk, he's a good driver as well. Mick Howes had some decent results as well earlier in the season. So he's showing he's going to have some pace.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is, there's been different podium finishers more or less every week at some points. So this is going to be a very interesting fight, I think, today.
It will be. We're just going to see what Ben could do as he just puts a line. Mick and Nils appear to come together on the straight. Ben's just had a good lap for Ben with a 30.4. It puts him 0.8 off pole now. But there was contact there on the straight between Nils and Mick. Unfortunately, we missed seeing where that came from, but Mick's just chugging away now. I think that's it. Their laps will be over, so we'll just see who else is on a lap. Multi's 1.8 off in the Porsche. Mick down in 11th.
He just got over the line with one second left of qualifying. That was close. That was very close.
So we've got Ben going a little bit wide there down through turn 4. Ben's round going out of turn 4 into 5. Smalley in 6th. He's gonna put a better race showing in than he's. I know his lap times are on the board at the moment. He has been able to go faster than that in practice. So I'd expect him to move up from 6. He's maybe just not had the best qualifying, but he's been solid. He's obviously had good results and wins and podiums so far this season in most of the rounds.
He's been. I think he's been top 4 so far. Most races he's been in.
Yep.
Smalley. In fact, that's a good time actually. He's put in to go top 3. The fact of the matter is, the Smalley, he's been very, very close to podium places, or been on the podium.
In every round.
He's always going to be there or thereabouts. Yeah, and to win a championship, it's going to be much more than just winning every single race. You've just got to keep scoring, even when you have a bad day.
We'll just have a quick
even
rundown.
When you have a bad day, it's just banking points.
We've got Robot joining us in the chat, Mr. OFR. Nice to see you. We've just have a quick rundown of the top 5. Smalley he was in 3rd over the line, setting a 1:29.8, so he's back to where we're probably expecting to be. But you've got Nils in the lead, Hayder 2nd, Smalley 3rd, Weird TV 4th, D Roberts 5th, Jardy Boy 6th, Hazy in 7th, Pay2 8th, Bow APD in 9th, Side Duncan Fuller in 10th, and then you've got Multi in 11th, and Mick Howe on the back of the field in 12th. Mick will do better than 12th today. He knows the Red Bull ring quite well. He'll be praying for rain. Shout out to Phil Babbage. Noticed you put OFR in his name when I was filling in the results. There you go, Mr. Babbage. Little shout out to you from the OFR management. So we'll see how this race I was going to say envelopes then, but that wouldn't be the complete wrong term. There you go. I should never try and sound intelligent. It don't work.
Tell you what, man, the gap between Nils and Hayder is next to nothing.
Yeah, 4,000 to the second.
That's incredible. I just messaged him on the race chat saying that's incredible pace. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens now.
I mean, there's 3/10 covering 1st to 4th.
Yeah.
That's next to nothing. This could be some battle. This could be some battle today. They've just got to be careful as well, especially into turn 1, because this first corner is notorious for causing problems.
Just before we start the race, another mention from OFR management here. Iceman and Sean got 20 tickets for the raffle for their top 2 lockout in yesterday's endurance race, which is great for them. Great for them. So we'll be away in just a second. We're sat on the grid now. Like say turn 1 and turn 3 here are going to be the big ones on the first lap. Be better advised just to back off a little bit, let it all settle down, and you will pick up places. Nils is stuck on the line. Massive carnage on the line there. Smalley's gone from 3rd back down to 11th.
Oh.
So Hayder's away, Weird TV 2nd, Nils 3rd, Jardy 4th, Bow APD's made up a few spaces in 5th. Then you got Pay2 6th, Seismic 7th, Hazy, Multi, Mix made up the 10th, Smalley in 11th. We'll just put racing film on. And D Roberts as well as Smalley got caught up in that carnage on the line. I think it was started by Nils, didn't seem to move. Initially I thought he might have been stuck, but then he's managed to get off, so I don't know whether he maybe just didn't notice or a slight jump start maybe. Oh, Hayder's round, he's held that. That was a good save there. I twitched massively at that moment.
I nearly had heart failure just then.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if Smalley can recover from where he is. It might be a bit tougher than it was maybe in Spa for him to come back and score good points, but he just needs to carry on scoring points, being championship leader.
He does, and just settle down into this and just see how we can get. He'll be better off just taking a lap, taking a breather, and he will come back. I would still fully expect him to be. Obviously, I might have a bit of an inside knowledge on what he's going to run strategy-wise, which I'm not going to declare in an open forum. But I think
TV goes into first.
I think he's got a good chance of certainly come back top 5 today. And Hayder's got him back. Hayder's got him back
on the exit.
Sometimes if you go slightly, if you take the inside line, you go deeper into turn 1. But it's going to be a challenge down here into turn 3. No, he's just lifted. Probably the wiser thing to do. That's the one place you don't want to go off. in there, but a good opening fight on the opening laps.
Yeah, I'm just noticing Fuller's up to 6th now, challenging Bow APD for 5th place.
He is. We're just having a chat with Kimmy's in the chat with Robot. There was a bit of carnage on the start, Kimmy, if that's what you're about, with a driver not moving, and then everyone seemed to collect him off the start. So we're just starting to see Hayden just start to gap Weird TV now. He's just pulling out to about 0.8 of a second on the first lap. A little bit wide there as well. I think he's maybe just starting to push on a little bit too hard in these early laps. So we've got 4 or 5 cars down now into turn 10, I believe it is. They're all round okay. Hayden's just, I think, been nudged wide a little bit. Jardy Boy's trying to come up the inside of him, and there's a little bit of contact there, but they both seem to... Oh, I think Jardy Boy's just trying to squeeze him off the track a little bit there, which is a little bit naughty. There was a bit of contact there into that corner, but nothing dangerous. Oh, there's contact there. I'm sure that'll be... There seems to... These two just need to settle down a little bit. I think there's a bit of rush of blood. I think it's given Dunk Dunk a chance just to catch him now in 6th, and it's given a chance for the front 3 to get away as well.
I'm just wondering if Hader backed out there just to make sure that he didn't gain a place off Jardy Boy there. So that might actually be good driving, good heads-up driving, just not to gain advantage from the tap.
Yeah, I think they both had a bit of a nibble at each other there, so I'm not quite sure how that was going to pan out, but it's settled down a little bit now. I think they're better off just... I think if you just look in the background as well, Smalley's already made it up to 7th. So in 3 laps he's gone from dead last to 7th. And if you watch the overall time to race leader, he's pulling back in the gap to the leader. So at the minute, Smalley will be the fastest man on track.
At the minute he's not sitting in any traffic, so he's able just to set his own pace.
And everyone else is fighting in front. But he's ripping into the lead of the time gap to the leaders. He's got it down to just under 7.5 seconds now.
In social media corner, by the way, hello Robbo. Sorry you couldn't make it tonight, of course.
Was it Robbo's birthday on Tuesday?
It might have been, I don't know.
Or maybe it's next week. I know his birthday's coming up, but happy birthday for... I've had 400 birthdays this year, so you can have an extra one as well. Also, there's a bit of love for the DWT livery, or the RP racing livery as it should be, from Robot, so... I would join in with that and suggest that they are probably, in my opinion, for what it's worth, the best looking cars on the OFR grid at the moment. I think I'd even
thank you, chaps.
Stick my neck out as far as to go to go that far.
Thank you.
I'd already said on Sunday I loved the Poppies tribute that they'd done on their Group 2 cars on Sunday. I thought it was absolutely top class. And I'm just loving the livery they've put out for tonight, and also I liked the one on the Aston as well last night in the endurance. So they're all looking very good.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're right, we're just having there's a not that big a gap actually this far in the race from 8th upwards. You've got D Roberts in 8th, who's only 8.8 seconds behind the leader. Small is now down to 7.3. He's just settling down a bit. He's just getting into a battle a little bit now with Jardy Boy and with Dunk Dunk. And I think he's getting held up a little bit here. If he can just try and make a move, I'm sure he'll get a little bit more out of the lead.
Yes, by the way, Robot, this is Tracy in the commentary box with us today.
Good evening, Robot.
Jardy Boy's just gone up the inside. Oh, Jardy Boy's gone well. So Smalley's just taken 2 places there. He's gone 7th to 5th. I don't expect to see too much of a challenge from Dunk Dunk now going down into turn 3. And possibly he'll just play the teammate role and just try and back things up a little bit behind him.
It's just starting to get a bit... It's actually been a very good fight back from Smalley so far.
Yeah, it has. We'll see now if he can pull back into the lead. You've still got your boy Tracy in 7th there. He's got good first laps. It's a different thing, when you're in a race. Like I say, there's a lot of fast and competitive drivers in this league. So at the minute, sat in safe 7th. It's a good result. Everyone's got pit stops to play a part as well. So I'm sure we can see him move up a little bit further in there.
100%. Yeah.
Just a bit of a heads up as well from what I'm hearing. Apparently there may have been some sort of incident in quali there between Mick and somebody else towards the end of his laps, which if that's the case would be very unfortunate.
Yeah, it was I think it was Nils on the line. They were both off and ghosted just on the left just before the start finish, so I think that bought Mick's last lap. So if you look, Smalley's just got the fastest lap of the race at the moment with a 29.8.
Meanwhile,
and
big battle for six.
Bow's just gone well wide at turn 1. He's just come off, which is going to put Smalley up into 4th. So a hell of a recovery drive from Smalley at the moment in 4th. We've still got Hayder in 3rd, a great showing on his debut. Nearly 3/4 of a second under at split 1. So we'll see if he can hold that. This is the fastest section, but the rest of it just get a little bit more technical. But he's shown so far that he can cope with the track as it is laid out, and he's going to be one to challenge for this podium week in, week out. Great first showing on his debut.
This battle for 7th is now starting to build up a little bit here between Dee Roberts and Jardy Boy.
Between you've pretty much got the battle from 5th
and
down
Mick
to 10th, all in shot.
Yeah, Mick, by the way, Mr. Robot is in 9th place. He's in my shot now, but he should be in yours, I think.
Smalley is on a mission. He's I know what he's going to do. He's set some good consistent times in quali. If you look at the way he's gapped Bow in 5th now, he's in this one lap alone. He's put a second into him so far. So. Sorry, 2 seconds. That's the seconds Bow's gap bound to Mr. Fuller. I think we just saw first pit. Jardy's in the pits. So I think we're going to be running. So Jardy's going to be running a 2-stop. I would think you may see some drivers may be coming in. This is a little bit early for me. Maybe 7 and 14. So we'll see. Maybe he just wanted to get himself a bit of free air. So look, Mick's up to 8th now. So Mick's starting to pull places back, and he's just dropping off the back of the battle for 5th, 6th, 7th. But Mick's just gone purple first sector, so great first section there from Mick. And we'll see what gap he can pull back through. So we'll just give the front guys some just showing as well. Weird TV, little wheel off on the track there. Very heavy on tyres, Weird TV is. His fronts are well on the way to somewhere different. His fronts are out of lockdown already. His rears are still on tier 3.
I think I think having watched some of the Datsuns and other races, they seem to be heavier on the car in general. Seems to be heavier on tyres than some of the others, and I think that's it may be a bit of a driver thing, but I think it may be more a bit of a car thing as well.
Possibly set up as well. But you've got Nils. It's just allowing Nils now to pull back in. And it's also allowing Hayder is now within 3 seconds of the front, and again just starting to nibble back on the start. Sorry, the start on the first 2.
Well, again, I was expecting some pit stops then.
Nils has gone wide, but he's come back. He's come back on. He's dropped back a little bit off Weird TV now, but it's allowing Hayder to go, and he's got a good run on him. He's taken about 3 or 4 tenths off him just between turn 1 and turn 3. So I think tyres are just starting to come into it now. Again, Nils goes slightly squirmy there. Hayder's tyre wears the best of the front 3. I would hazard a guess that with this tyre wear there, he probably is going to try and one-stop this. I think it's doable. Smalley again, his tyre wear's not bad. He's just starting to lose a little bit on this lap as well. You'd like to have been a bit close to the front 3, but the pace is showing.
He's gaining time. He's gaining time from what I'm watching, because I'm busy watching him at the minute, and he's definitely gaining more and more time each lap over the top 3. You can just see the time
he is in some
down.
sections. It's just that it's down to about 7 seconds now. But if you have a look at the laps of the front drivers, they're all lapping in that 1:30 bracket. So if these guys had got away together, this battle for the front would have been very, very good. Hayder just had a little wobble on the front there, and a little bit wide. He's just starting to get on the throttle a little bit early maybe, but he's just picked up a half-second penalty there, which we'd let run. Half-second over the next 11 laps he's going to lose, so I'm not too concerned about that right now.
There's a big battle for 7th here developing between Fuller and Mick.
This one will be quite interesting to watch. Fuller's just trying to send him to the outside here, but he has made his move back, which he's entitled to do. Mick's got a slightly better drive out of turn 1. As Fuller just shakes his cute little tush at him there on the approach down to turn 3. Well, we'll have to debate while we're on as well as whether people say it's turn 2 that we're approaching now or turn 3. I believe it's turn 3.
Yeah, the only reason why they made that turn 2 is because the MotoGP wanted it qualified as a corner, I believe.
The turn 2 is a corner, yeah, and it is because it's not straight. So
yeah, it's as the Grand Tour would say, it's the isn't straight.
Yes, yeah, it's a wiggle.
It isn't straight.
It is. See, I agree with Robot. It is turn 3. I know Mr. Robot likes his two-wheel motorsport as well, so we'll both agree on that. It is definitely turn 3. It was nearly turn terminal with Valentino Rossi.
Don't listen to others, it's a lie. It depends who the others are. If it's someone like Lika, I might listen to him.
Everybody.
You might listen to you as well.
The others are everybody. I like Lika. Lika's a great guy. Lika's missed from GTS. Very, very helpful guy. Very fast in whatever he drives. And hopefully we'll see him back one day. I know he's just taking a little bit of a break and concentrating on F1 for a moment. But if Lika didn't agree to the fact it was turn 3, then that's one Christmas card less I've got to buy this year. Because he would be wrong as well. There was a very defensive move there from Mr. Fuller down into... And this is good. It's a good battle to watch. And what you've got throughout the whole field... And this goes back to what Tracy was saying earlier on, when he watched it before his junior team came into this division. You've got battles right way through the field, and I think that's one thing that you see in OFR as a whole, that you have little pockets within a race. You've quite often got like your top 3 or 4 that are going to be your top 3 or 4 week in, week out. And sometimes they'll have a bad race. Vilseth had a mare at the weekend. Very unusual. I've never seen him have a race like that. So then you get people that manage to jump on an unexpected podium. I think there was one of them in Group 2.
Who was that, Ed?
That may have been me. I'll take that.
Was it you? I would never have realised.
I wasn't expecting that. I was going back to what Tracy was saying earlier. I like to be, or normally in that battle, sort of like 4th, 5th, 6th, that occasionally will get a podium if it is. But you get epic battles in that group. We've got the top 3, and I would imagine top 4 are in now. I think this is where you'll start to see everyone coming in. Kimmy was right in the chat that the one stop is right if you look after your tyres. So it's going to be better if we just have a quick look through who's got decent tyres on the lot. Most of them's tyres are about the same.
That's interesting. Robot's just put in the chat. I was a bit sceptical of Proctor getting kicked, but now I see that Ash was right.
Which is unusual for Ash being right, actually, because he's a Mackem.
No. Let's just get this correct here and now. I am from Geordieland. It's like saying that a Liverpool fan is from the Everton side. That's all I'm saying.
We know different. Anyway, the pit stops played into Weird TV's hands. He's now come out with a 4.7 second lead over Jardy Boy in second. Obviously, he pitted a lap earlier. There's a battle here between Hayder and Nils. So I think these will pull back to Jardy Boy and take the podium. Small has come out 2.9 behind, just under 3 seconds behind. So I'm sure we can make that gap up. He's on fresh tyres now. He's in fresh air. I don't know. He can hit that 130 mark. If you look at his laps from lap 3 to 8, it's 130s all the way through. So I'm sure he can pull that gap back.
Yes, correct that. It was definitely promoted, not kicked, should I say. I'll just correct you there for you, Kimmy.
There's another question in there as well, Ash, as well. You might have missed that one.
Well, the pink ball scores more in snooker.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. So we see, yeah, we've got Smalley 2.5 seconds back. He's just took a 10th off in that lap. He's got a 0.1 penalty, but again, that'll go. Oh, well, back end was a little bit loose there on the inch corner. He's lost a good half a second there.
I tell you who might be best placed for the end of the race might be Jardy Boy. He's running second at the minute.
Yeah,
he's on a two-stopper, so as other people's tyres fall off, he might come into play towards the end.
Oh, there's a big fight again between Sai and Mick coming out of turn one. Mick went a little bit wide, got a big shake on, and it's just given Sai a chance just to dive away from him a little bit. Ben, he's up in 9th at the moment. It'd be another good point scoring for Ben there, and he's not too far behind your driver D Roberts, who's just maybe got caught up in a few bits and bobs during the race so far and dropped back a little bit, but a good showing. I say it's a very competitive field, so anywhere in the points is still a good showing for a debut, and I'm sure we'll see him fighting for higher positions later on in the season.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I said to them, I made it quite clear to them not to have any like grand expectations. Let's just get in. It's a reconnaissance exercise. Look at what we've got that we're dealing with, and if you can come away with 10 points, that's a bonus between you both. But they're doing great so far. I'm really happy with them. So
I think you'll have that. I think you'll get that possibly from your top driver as well, possibly from Hayder. I think he'll get most of that on his own.
Definitely,
and quite often, if you look at, I know it's an individual sport, everyone goes for individual accolades, but it's still a good team sport as well. So
Jardy Boy's had a spin,
which puts Smalley up into third.
And Nils has as well. Two team cars.
Yeah. Oh dear.
They were very close together. I wonder if they've had a little bit of a nibble at each other.
Hamilton, Rosberg, Spain 2016.
Yeah,
I need
new PlayStation
as well.
Sony need to sponsor me with one so we can get these replays going. Weird TV has now got an 8.5 second lead, so we could I think this is a manageable gap now. Back to Hayder in second. Smalley will be happy with the podium, however it's come about. And Multi behind him in fourth. He's on slightly more worn tyre, but a great showing from Multi here. Racing a little bit in another league, and I think these GT3 cars are suiting his style a little bit more perhaps than the SFs are.
Yeah, it's good. I think he might have been caught in the first corner incident as well somewhere, but it's been a very, very good fight back from Multi to get there. Although I do feel he may have to pit within the next lap or two.
So we'll just see now. Yeah, I think Weird TV's away with this one now. He's just starting to drag this out to 9.5 seconds.
Although there may be a battle for second starting to develop here between Hayder and Smalley.
Hayder's just picked up a penalty. Probably the half second where they are on the track, probably just coming onto the start finish straight, maybe going slightly wide on the left there. But yeah, there's a second between them now, and this could be a great fight for the end. So we'll just have a quick check on where we're looking in the podium. The table. We've got Smalley is currently, compared to Weird TV, 36 points in front. So this is going to narrow the gap down to just about 31 points. I believe there's points for fastest lap, so we're going to be somewhere around there. So still more than a race win. Smalley's going to pull points on most of the other guys below him. If he can make this move to second, it will obviously work out better for him. But a great recovery drive from dead last on the first lap to third, and I think they can hold this now. And I think you've seen your podium where we are. If anyone has an iPhone, I'm developing an OFR app and need some testers. Mr. Robot, if you can, I've got an iPhone and pad sat right next to me now. I'm more than happy to test anything you wish, apart from one of those swab tests that everyone seems to be having to do at the moment.
Yeah, I'm up for some testing if he wants as well.
Yeah, and I will as well, Robot, just as long as, like a certain someone, I don't have to give my address out.
Yeah, we have a friend, Lord Othed River of Birmingham. Silly in one of our chat groups had something delivered, and he decided that he was going to leave his address in there, so he got several comedy gifts for his birthday this week. Because he's a silly Billy.
Yes, I mean, he's had all sorts of things sent to him, bless him. I don't feel sorry in any way, shape or form. Jardy's left the room.
Jardy has left the room. I wonder whether maybe... I'm not sure if Jardy's not had connection problems in the past as well. We're just watching this battle here between Hayder in second and Smalley in third. It's now down to about 3/4 of a second.
Yes, Robot. Credit card details. Can I have yours?
I will gladly send you mine. If you can manage to squeeze anything else out on that at the moment, you are welcome to it. Yeah. I think Smalley's just had a slight slip there. The gap had just opened up. He's had a great drive through there. He lost about 2/10, and then I think Hayder had a slight wobble as well. So we're still hovering around 3/4 of a second. Weird TV's away with this now. He's like just under 10 seconds away from these two. I think there's a winning margin now.
Meanwhile, Multy's been in the pit lane. He's back out in 8th, and he has better tyres than everybody around him.
Oh,
so
Dunk's off there, coming through turn 7, which is going to allow Mick to come for him on the drive down. I think this is going to end up being quite a scrap between these two. Ben's having a steady one. He looks like he's maybe just had an off on lap 14.
No, he just had a pit stop.
Just had a pit stop. I wish it'd show you when it
just had a pit stop.
I'll have a P, please, Bob.
Weird TV. He's set another fastest lap, 29.1. He has just walked away from the field now. I think he also had a little bit more fuel when he came in the pit lane as well. So might have done the old Ash Wilson trick of saving fuel, whoever he is.
I thought
he sounds like an interesting chap.
Sent people to sleep by telling bedtime stories. No, when we was talking about different people's strengths, I think you have a strength above race pace. If I'm honest, I still don't know how you managed to sip fuel. It's quite often been not taking anything away from your drive, but your ability to save fuel has quite often been the difference, where you've managed to jump people in the pits because you've had to put maybe up to 2 laps less fuel in than they have, and that time spent in the pits is quite often what makes a difference. So you have got drivers out there that are better at saving fuel. Some are easier on tyres, and it's that makes a race interesting, because no one's going to run away with it based on just the same settings. Everyone will drive a car differently, and that's where I just think having the ability to run car setups, I know some leagues don't choose to do that, having the ability to run car setups is better, because we all drive slightly differently, so you can set the car up around your style and to best save tyres over a race. Just having a look here now, Chase, we've got your driver D Roberts has made it up into 5th, so they're both in with they're both going to be getting their paycheck and points bonuses at the end of the race.
Definitely.
He's good showing from them both.
Out what that is. Yeah.
Kimmy, I know your strength is fuel saving. Also, as well, you're very dainty on tyres. I don't know how.
Dainty. I have never heard anybody in a racing car being described as dainty.
Dainty on tyres.
Yeah.
Say gentle on tyres, or?
Gentle, yes.
Dainty means like thin, or?
Yes,
exactly.
Exactly. He's very, very. He looks after tyres, does Kimmy, and he really can fuel save as well. He thinks about everything to the nth degree.
Just watching this battle up front between your other driver Tracy, Hady, and Smalley, I think they're both pushing on now. I think Smalley's trying hard just to try and just catch back onto the back of him, and he's picked up a 1.2 second penalty coming onto the straight. I think at this point in the race, with only a couple of laps left, he may just settle down. Solid podium again. He's still going to keep the championship lead. There's only one driver in front of him that he's realistically in that battle for the top 3 places in the championship at the moment. Obviously, we're going to see that change as the season goes on. But I think Smalley maybe just needs to just lift a little bit, just take a breath. I don't know if you can hear this in the background, but if he is, you've got 2 options, Smalley. Either take a breath and just try and pull this back little bit by little, or just go faster. Shane, who was an OFR champion in the early days, and great guy. I don't know if Shane will be watching, but if he is, hello Shane. Shane's advice would be go faster. So Nils in 6th. Let's just try and... Oh, it's just left Multi up the inside of him. This will be a fantastic result for Multi, actually. He's had a mixed bag so far, but he's been solid. He's been quite dependable. The Porsche, I love the Porsche. It's a very...
I do.
It's a very good all-round car. It's not fantastic anywhere, but it's just very, very good everywhere. And it would probably be a car I would choose to run again. But there's a good little battle there between Nils and Multi in 6th and 7th. The gap is fairly static.
I'm very aware, Kimmy, you love the Porsche.
Yes. I love the Porsche, and who knows, I might have a word with Kim about driving one of his Porsches at some point. I love the car. It's a great car. It's my dream car as well. Seeing the amount of birthdays I've had, if every one of you, right, had chipped in £1 for every time you'd wished me happy birthday this year, I would be buying a GT3 RS right now. So
who is it to blame that you've had a birthday every day, mate?
Mr. Small.
Mr. Small. OFR Smalley, of course.
Yeah. Just because I happen to have one, I seem to have had loads. So the gap's fairly constant now between Hayden in 2nd and Smalley in 3rd, about 1.8, and I think that's going to be where it will stay now. But the gap to Weird TV has halved in the last 2 or 3 laps. It's now down to under 6 seconds. So maybe, I'm just looking at the times, it doesn't appear that he's had an off. His lap times have only deviated by a couple of seconds, but it is down now to like 5.6. So Hayden he's maybe took a couple of seconds up. He's set more 29s in this last stint. So I think it's still a little bit too late, but it'll be a great debut podium for him there, for not only the driver in OFR but also this junior team as well.
Yeah, and again, also Smalley just hanging on in there in 3rd place. It's a very good effort.
He's done what I've said. Maybe he's listening to me. Good lad. He's just started to just nibble back at this down now. It's just down to a second now, so it's not undoable. This last lap's going to be a charge. So now Smalley, this is where you go faster. But he's got to get past him and gap him by 3/4 of a second as well, because he is carrying a small penalty as well.
His tyres are slightly more degraded as well, by the looks of things.
Yeah, yes, he's been pushing to try and catch. A great drive, like I say, great recovery drive from 3rd, sorry, to 3rd from last on the grid after that start line melee.
Oh, definitely, yeah, that's impressive stuff.
I tend to think as well, Weird TV might have just been managing the gap as well, just managing the car out to the end of the race. So he might have been very clever the way he was driven.
Oh, D. Roberts has gone. Your man's very heavy on tyres here, Tracy. Maybe some tyre coaching in there. We're sort of looking at very, very heavily worn, but still a great result in 5th. Would you catch Weird TV towards the end of the lap? He's just coming down into, I believe it's turn 10. I struggle because I can't get out of that because I've only got 10 fingers. But another win for Weird TV here, which is a fantastic result. It's been a solid race for him, a bit of a weave over the line there. And you've got these two just coming across the line in 2nd and 3rd. Great debut win. Sorry, win. My apologies. Great debut 2nd there for Hayder, and solid points for the is it SP race? RP, sorry, on the side of the coat. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. And also a great recovery drive there for Smalley in 3rd. So we've got Bow APD on his debut as well. So 1st and 4th there for the Datsuns. And D. Roberts coming across the line in 5th.
They've smashed their targets.
Both within.
All
they have.
Asked of them. Top 5.
Nils managed to get Multi on the line for 6th. Multi in 7th. Mick come across the line in 8th. Simon Dunk Fuller coming across the line nice and steadily in 9th. And Ben's managed to get the last point and will come across the line in 10th place. So solid drives for everyone there. Pay2, I think, a little bit unfortunate. We'd have to normally see him a little bit further up than that, but he's not had the normal race he does. So Smalley across the line. He obviously just got a penalty on the last lap there, which dropped him back a little bit gap wise, but not in position. I enjoyed that. Great race. Kimmy, he's asking Weird TV to Group 3 or Group 2. I think he's definitely a contender. I think if people are out there looking for a stand-in driver, or reserve, or certainly if anyone was looking for drivers for season 4 when the information gets released from that, I think you've got Weird TV, Smalley, Hayder. You could pick any one of the top sort of like 7 or 8 drivers here would definitely be able to hold their own in either of the Group 2 or Group 3 races.
Yeah, that's a very interesting result for Hayder. Very pleased with that.
Yeah, we've got interesting. Well, Nils is saying in the chat that he didn't have any start lights, which is probably explains why he didn't take off on the line, and there was obviously the contact at the start. So we'll obviously have to look into that. But great race, some great results there. I appreciate those watching and the comments and the chat, and also Tracy for joining us in comms. We might try and pick if there's a team principal role for some of the other teams. We might try and bring them into the chat in future races as well, just to give their side of the views on how they're trying to bring their teams on. It'd be difficult as this one with Mick running, but obviously Ash and I can both talk from the R&P side on that. But there's some good drivers in there, great race to watch, interesting results, and we shall see some more next week. Thank you very much, Robot, for my birthday wishes again. Like I say, we'll accept pound coins or I don't know, maybe like a random bunch of raffle tickets for a birthday. There we go. Yeah, thanks for joining us, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, thanks for the comments in social media corner. We'll see you on Sunday as well, Kimmy. Hope you have a good run out in your Porsche there, and we shall catch
Not
you
too
all.
good a run out, of course, as long as I can beat him for a change.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. That's going to be an interesting battle. I think the 3 Porsches and also yourself and Harley in particular will be in that battle for at the start of the race, and hopefully in that podium battle for the rest of the season. We shall sign off, catch you all next week, and yeah, take care.